Good afternoon, lovely Leos. My name is Chandler. This is Intuitive Chandler, your April general reading. Now, I'm using the Fountain Tarot deck along with an Oracle deck and an Angel deck. So we'll see what kind of messages come through for you. I will say that I am a Sun and Moon sign in Leo, so Leo has a huge effect on my personal life. And I pay especially close attention to these cards when I'm reading them, and I really try to dissect them, so I hope you enjoy. Let me know if it resonates with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share to any of your other Leo friends. And of course, if you want a more specific reading, you can always go to my website, chandlerchristine.com, and check out what readings I offer. So before I get started, I know all too well what we've been going through. I really feel a sense of transformation within our emotional realm. And it's been about 3 or 4 months where we've really become so much of the observer in our own actions for the betterment of our life, to really continue the growth that we aspire to have, because maybe in the past we felt a little stagnant. A lot of fears have been coming up so that we can observe and become more aware of them to better equipped us for dealing with things in the future. And really, this goes very deeply into our subconscious. This goes very deeply into our hardwiring beliefs. And it's been so that we can transmute them, so that we can raise up or rise to a new level. And this is not only emotionally, this is intellectually, this is mentally, this is spiritually, and also physically. There's a lot of upgrades we're trying to do right now in our life. So we have our hands full. We've got a lot to think about, and I think we've been a lot in our heads as well. So as I was kind of meditating, I was really being shown this cycle being completed, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity arising in the month of March and April for these kind of shifts, these kind of transformations, a lot of astrological activity helping us activate these areas in our life. But as far as that goes, we know that as much growth and changes we make, we have to also allow what is necessary to fall away. And some of us might be battling that. Some of us might be battling that a little bit. But really, we're doing it in a brave and courageous and integral way, of course, always. We try to do that always. And this month, I see us doing more of that. So let's go ahead and pull some of the Oracle cards to see what exactly our spirit energy is like. Okay, let's ask our spirit guides for guidance in the month of April. See what they have to say, where our focus is, where our energetic output is. Right flat on top. I love it. It means it's going to be in the forefront of our minds, right? And what did I say? Oh, I just love this deck. Renewal. Okay, so this really speaks to transformation, more so in a spiritual and intellectual level. I feel as though in the past few months we've been really trying to rationalize and intellectually understand our emotions. And as Leos, we are very deep. We are very sensitive. We are very conscientious and compassionate people. And I feel like in the past, if we've been burned or if we've had some scuffs with some people, or those very relational type of emotions, things that are having to do with external people and forces and the things that are circumstantial in our life, the things that affect our emotions on a grander scale. Maybe the people who are most important to you, or the place of your work, where you go to spend a lot of time and energy, that's been on the forefront of our mind. Is this the best I can do? Is this where I want to be? Am I enjoying this person? Are they benefiting me? What's their role in my life? And all of these things are they're churning, right? And they're gaining some momentum. And what this is a card of intellectual understanding, but in tandem with our emotions, not neglecting or negating any kind of heavy-hitting situations that we might need to address, we're actually addressing it head on in a brave and integral way, of course. And we're kind of beginning to see that things are unraveling beautifully, that we actually didn't have to be so afraid of this transformation because the people and things around us are transforming with us in the best and highest way. If they're falling off or if they're, coming to an end, it's even a pleasant ending. So this is a really good card to say we're up right on track. Whatever kind of good signs we're noticing, it's because we're being drawn to this higher purpose, to this higher wisdom that's ultimately transformative in our lives. This says rest, switch off the mind. A short holiday would do you a world of good at this time. A change of scenery results in renewed clarity and sense of purpose. So again, the things that are coming to an end, or the things that you're really spending a lot of time deliberating on, you need to take a step back, okay? And once you arrive at your conclusion, or once you arrive at how exactly you want that to feel, you'll have a very simple way of getting that job done. But it might take you taking a step back from the situation as well to see how it will unravel, to let it unravel naturally. Okay, let's get some truth bombs actually. The Magician is calling me, okay? You've got a few major arcana in this reading, and I'm really excited to get into it, but the Magician is like staring at me. It's so funny. Wow, okay. We'll just go with these because they slipped right through my fingers, and it doesn't usually happen. Okay, so some of you might be getting into a new relationship. You might be having a new partnership. There might be some negotiations between business partners, people who are having a heavy hand in maybe your future financially. And emotionally, I sense that the family card comes up because you might need to spend some time with people who are loving, supportive, and playful this month. In April, I sense a lot of change, and you really need to get back to the basics, to who supports you, who loves you, who benefits you undoubtedly, and spend a lot of time with them. Spend a lot of energy on them. That's somewhere where your energy will not be wasted. And for those of you who are single or maybe even in a relationship, because of these changes that are happening, because of some of the shifts that are going on within you, they're ultimately going to affect who is in your life in the physical, right? And that means that there can be a lot of dynamics that are shifting as well within your relationships. And you might even be meeting someone who rings your bell. You might even be meeting someone who resonates with this new you've become more than some others may have. So this is really a card for either singles or people who are in relationships to maybe just be open, right? Not be closed off to all the potentials, because the shifts that you're making within yourself are going to be bringing up a lot of opportunities. They're going to be bringing up a lot more potential for your life. And it might come in, a surprising box, right? It might be gift wrapped a little differently than you were expecting, but regardless, it's a gift, and it's something to pay attention to. This one says new partner. The chance meeting is no mistake. It is divinely orchestrated as a catalyst to set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. Pay careful attention to new people we send into your life. You will recognize them by your sense of familiarity, comfort, and safety. And again, this does not necessarily mean a romantic relationship. I see that a lot of you are really focused on this career aspect this month, and that can absolutely be a business partner as well. So this card, family. This situation is rooted in an emotional experience with a family member, which we can help you to understand and heal. In your mind and heart, surround this person, yourself, and the experience with calming blue light and many angels. Be open to the gifts within the situation and allow yourself to feel peace. Right, so those are our truth bombs. I love the angels. They just have such a peaceful and clear way of clarifying things. So let's get to these cards here. Okay, so generally I pull a very cyclical reading, and how it shows me how the energy will kind of move or float through the month. But I felt that this month is so noticeable. You know, either we've become very aware or the circumstances just are like right in your face, and you're gonna have to know how to deal with them. So I pulled this reading a little bit more like a timeline. So we're just gonna go with that feeling. That's how the cards and the energy wanted to be read. Right off the bat, April 1st, right? Easter. This is speaking to the very first week or very first part of April. You have the Magician and the Seven of Coins in reverse. So some of you might be experiencing some financial issues or poor planning, you know, things catching up to you, being kind of overwhelmed with things, not being able to prioritize, being very cluttered in the beginning of March. However, because you have the Magician upright, I do sense that you have everything you need to move forward. There just might be a little bouncing around here and there. You might feel that way. Okay, don't be too distracted where you start putting all your eggs in one basket, however. You know, pay special attention to where your energy is going. And energy is also transferable in the amount of money you spend. So I feel that this is saying, try to plan for the future in the month of April. You have so many aspirations, you have so many insights, you have so many inspirations that are calling you. And this can be very career-oriented as well. Those of you who are very interested in your career this month might feel a certain push to go toward your purpose, to go toward your calling, to do what you were meant to do ultimately. And it's this force or this feeling that you can't quite grasp, right? All the pieces are slowly falling together. So in celebration, right, of that kind of energy, of that kind of inspiration, your guides are saying there is chaos or clutter in your life that you need to address, right? In order to prioritize and really fit this well-oiled machine together long term, we've got to start thinking long term. Okay, and if the energy isn't quite ripe in the first part of April, I do see that you're spending a lot more time prioritizing, you know, not putting all your eggs in one basket, not relying on other people. You're trying to be a lot more cultivated, right, collected this month. The Five of Wands comes up with the Moon in reverse, stating that a lot of you might be in partnerships that are really imbalanced, right? Because of the clutter and chaos, you might have put a little bit too much energy into something that really isn't going to go very far. It could also mean that there was some kind of failed attempt in a business venture. Also, just very, very career-oriented. I feel like a lot of you are thinking about, what am I going to do with my life? You know, where am I going to go? What are my options? Can I do better? What is my worth? You know, all those things, whether it's spiritual or simply analytical, it's on our minds. And, you know, I think a lot of us are dealing with insecurities, okay? Devaluing ourselves a little bit too much when it comes to that. A lot of people don't realize that Leos can be one of the most insecure signs, despite their ferociousness, right? Their fierceness, you know, when it comes to their approach to life or the way people perceive them. But they can be very insecure because they are very self-critical. They are very self-critical, and they try so hard, right? They really try with all their might when they attempt to do anything. So if it's a failed attempt, it kind of hurts, right? It stings a little bit. But we need to really address those emotions, because if something has stung you, or if you had this cultivated effort in the past, and this could potentially be with a partner too, right? Just anywhere that you have really put your energy and really wanted something, and maybe wanted it for the wrong reasons even, you're reflecting on that. And there's so much reflection going on. You're reflecting intellectually, you're reflecting emotionally, but you know, there's a breaking point where it's like, okay, I'm not just going to be swamped in those emotions. I'm not just going to allow them to continue to move forward that way. I've learned too much, I've experienced too much. I'm going to start redirecting my energy in a more conducive way to what I envision for my life. It's this real redirection of energy based off of how you feel now. You're revisiting some of those feelings potentially, and you might even feel slightly fearful or overwhelmed in the beginning of April. So try to keep that mindset of that happened in the past. I wasn't responsible with my energy, or I wasn't responsible with this endeavor. It wasn't as organized or as thoughtful. I wasn't as mindful as I wanted to be during that time. I'm going to, instead of stay in the chaos and stay in the disorienting type of feeling, I'm going to move forward with a simpler and clearer vision for myself. That can also mean that a few things are falling away, right? You might be in kind of a rotten business endeavor, or you might be in kind of a rotten relationship, knowing that there's an imbalance, right? There's too much responsibility on one person, and the other person, is just kind of freeloading off of that. Or they could even be potentially meeting you with this aggressive, micromanaging or boss type of style where it's overwhelming and it's bringing down the mood. So you might have to address that. You might have to actually just really get down to the nitty-gritty with this person if that's the case. The Queen of Coins comes up with the Lovers in reverse in the middle of April. So what I sense that you're doing is, regardless of whether this is a man or woman, or if you are a man or woman, or both, doesn't matter. Energy is fluid. Energy is kind of translucent that way. So this could be he or she really taking charge of their energy, right? This person, in the Five of Wands, went with what they thought was the flow, right? You maybe took someone's advice and it ended up not really benefiting you, or you might have been neglectful of your future or neglectful of your energy and kind of went off in the wrong direction for a while. Because you're recognizing that, you are actually reeling in your energy and making some reserves for yourself now, right? And that can also be in the sense of money. Money could be coming to you in the middle of March, or in the middle of April, And it's because of this awareness that you have now. It's because you are actually starting to implement some of those better habits, right? Activating some of your better neural pathways, thinking better thoughts, being a little bit more optimistic, being a little bit more positive, starting to reap starting to sow the seeds that you want to reap when you harvest, right? We're pre-planning, we're planning ahead. Seven of Coins directly translates to this, where you realize that you need to start planting a little bit better, right? You need to become a little bit of a better farmer in order to really reap a better harvest. It's very translucent that way to me. You're really getting ahead of whatever problems that you've created. And it's very responsible, right? It's self-reliable, it's resourceful, and it's valuable. It gives you a sense of value again. Because even in the past, I see that you've really devalued yourself. It's been this unconscious insecurity, maybe even, where you've just felt I couldn't do that, or I don't deserve as much as I once thought I did. The world has knocked me down, but you're getting back up again, finally, right? And I really resonate with this because I've known that I'm coming towards the end of a cycle emotionally for a long time. But it takes a long time, right? This transmutation, this transformation doesn't occur overnight. It's baby steps, and I see you taking some big baby steps, okay? The Lovers in reverse can signify certain things falling away. Because you're this new person, you have to present yourself in a different way in your life. And it literally is translating to that. Your physical, tangible reality is going to be shifting along with you. So this can signify some relationships falling away. If this is more directed towards a spiritual connection you have with someone, then maybe that's shifting as well. Maybe that's becoming a little bit ungrounded. You need to reground that person in the way that you are being regrounded. If you guys are truly meant to be together, this person must shift with you. If you guys are not truly meant together, I don't believe that this will last for very much longer. This is saying there's some things that are on the forefront of your mind now that you notice, and you wish them to change. And it's that simple. You may be deliberating on whether someone's going to stay in your life or not, but I feel that as though that is not up to you, right? This is more of a Wheel of Fortune type of energy. Like, these things are fated. You're just following your path. So as long as you just follow your path, the things that need to shift or will be shifting will make themselves available to you or noticeable to you when it's time. But you might be getting a sense that your relationships, your dynamic is changing because you are changing. And that doesn't have to just be with one partner, right? This can be with your coworkers. This can be with your family. Something involving love and support and safety is being redirected into a healthier manner, all right? But a lot of us will have to have those direct communications, like, I'm going this way. You can choose to go with me if you want, okay? So have those clear-cut conversations with people. In the first part of April, there will be a Mercury retrograde, and unfortunately, communication is not going to be very clear. This might signify that you'll have a scuffle with a few people, a community, coworkers, as well as relationships. This is not just one person. This is going to be hitting you all across the board. So if you need to take some extra time, again, we're really pre-planning for the future. We need to really be clear on what we want to keep within our life and how we want it to look. Okay, that's really what's important to us this month. The pieces are coming together, along with this magician card. It's telling us we can make this beautiful, but it has to be from where we're coming from, and if we're happy with where we're coming from. So ultimately, we're shifting ourselves first, and then we're having those negotiations with everything around us, right? We're renegotiating our life, pretty much. Career and relationships this month. The Knight of Swords and the King of Wands comes up, and it's just so powerful. It gives me chills. I know that this is accurate. I know that, there's going to be this momentum. There's a lot of creative force behind this. There's a lot of inspiration behind this. As far as I can tell, the beginning of the month is a little rocky. It's very much about what we believe, all right, our foundational beliefs about ourselves and the people around us, what exactly we see and envision our life to be. The second part of the month, right off the bat, we're going to get an opportunity. We're going to get something where it just becomes crystal clear of our direction. The Magician and the Seven of Coins maybe spoke to us doubting our effort, doubting our value. The Five of Wands, we realized that we've been going in the wrong direction for maybe a few years. This is an ending of a cycle, I truly feel. So it might be a very important acknowledgement that we're having in the beginning of the month. People might fall away. Relationships might fall away. Partnerships might fall away. But just as the new partner card says in the Angel deck, I believe that this is an opportunity. Okay, and it may present itself in a way that doesn't quite strike you right off the bat as this amazing thing. It might take a little bit of openness, a little bit of thinking outside the box. This has so much creative energy to it. The Knight of Swords and the King of Wands comes up because the Knight of Swords is someone who really wants to just put all their effort towards one thing, but they're not very experienced yet, right? They know what they want, but they kind of go at it in a little bit of a naively optimistic way, and it's not very well thought out. So what the King of Wands clarifies for us is that even though we want to jump right off the bat and maybe go grab this opportunity for ourselves, and we want to go forward so fast, this is saying have patience, because this is coming to fruition. This is going to happen. We're simply getting the inspiration, and just like any piece of art, we need to piece it together. We need to start with the foundational aspects. We need to learn. We need to expand. We need to be humble during the process. And ultimately, our cumulative efforts are going to go very far, like very far. And it's going to be a really, really bountiful kind of inspirational energy we feel. We feel that this is a gift. We feel that this is our gift. And we're simply giving it back to the world. This is something we inherently know we've always been meant to do, right? This is important to us. It's something that is within our hearts. It's within our guts. And it's not so much derived from reason. It might not be the most logical next step, but it's something that calls us. It's something that pulls us. And we finally found it. I'm getting the word niche. I'm getting the word, it's just so funny. I just feel so happy. I feel so playful, and I want this feeling. It feels good. It feels like I could have whatever I want, but it's maybe that direction that I need to hone in on, right? Because what I want may be this broad thing, and we're finally kind of zoning in on how we actually get it. So how do we get it? In the last part of April, we are experiencing a lot of intuition, okay? The King of Swords and the Four of Wands comes up to further clarify what exactly is falling away from us during the first part of the month. King of Swords comes up because and to further clarify the Knight of Swords, King of Wands, there's a lot of Swords energy, there's a lot of Wands energy, a lot of inspiration, a lot of redirecting of our desires, right? King of Swords comes up because he is the master at rationalizing hand in hand with his emotions. He takes into consideration how he feels, where he's been, and tries to work with them both. So how he feels may have no logical explanation. He may not be able to rationalize that part of him. But there's this foresight that allows him to work with that and to move forward in the direction of his goals. Still, so it's applying the spiritual to the physical. It's applying the very tangible to the ethereal. It's something that we inherently do, but when there's a lot of chaos around us, it's hard to tap into this kind of energy. So be thankful that you have this, because as the Knight of Swords and King of Wands comes in as this heavy-hitting inspiration, this heavy-hitting opportunity, you're going to say, I know exactly what to do. And it's going to be awesome. I'm so happy. We're going to know exactly what to do, because where we've been emotionally, we've really gone into our emotions. We've really hashed out a lot of stuff within us, and we've successfully released it. Some shifts have been happening. We feel like we might even be entering an entirely new life. A lot of us feel as though the past us is falling away suddenly. And it can be as clear as that. And as this new us emerges, as this new beginning for us begins, we really do it well, right? This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot, King of Swords. The Four of Wands further clarifies that even though we've had some bad experiences with our cooperative efforts, partnerships, this could even symbolize a family drama, where a lot of energy is being poured into an accumulative effort and it's not going well, right? This doesn't look like it's going very well. The people in it look exhausted. And there's a lot of red and yellow, meaning passion and desire gone awry, right? Just things going haywire because there isn't, no one's seeing eye to eye. This Four of Wands can symbolize marriage. It means unity. This Four of Wands can symbolize a culmination of efforts to celebrate about. Something coming together finally, feeling like you have a tribe, feeling like you have a community, a group in support of you, of what you truly want. Of what you truly want. And to be honest, I don't think that this was ever out of reach for you, but it's you that needed to come to this pinnacle of understanding before you could really see and reach out to the people that are going to benefit you in the like. Eight of Coins and Six of Wands. Eight of Coins comes up because There might be some emotional work still being done, right? And still needing to resurface so that we can become more and more aware of it. The Eight of Coins comes up. I do love this card. I'll let you look at it real quick. He's a very tedious man, right? This could symbolize that someone in your life is being a little careless. They're being a little less thoughtful than they should be, right? They're not being mindful of their efforts. They're kind of running a rampage, right, around your life energetically, and it's not working for you anymore. And I see that a lot of you are going to have to face whatever problem or obstacle this is with excitement, with literal, like maybe you just have to laugh it off, because as this Eight of Coins is in reverse, it's kind of symbolizing that you have so much momentum behind you this month that I feel there might be a time where things might be going too fast and escapes you, right? Or someone might be pulling you in a different direction and you kind of have to deal with that, right? You kind of have to deal with that. You have to smush it. You have to squash it. You have to redirect it, whatever you have to do, because someone comes into the picture either bringing like just wonky ideas or, you know, playing around with you a little bit too much and, you know, trying to mastermind this thing that they are not completely able to take on. It seems like the Eight of Coins is all about the manifested reality. So if you do get into an endeavor with someone, the Four of Wands and the King of Swords speaking to a new endeavor or new relationship, something that you are knowing a little bit better how to move forward before entering it, right? This person might throw you off balance a little at this time, you know, and that happens. Someone might surprise you. Someone might, you know, take what you were working on and try to make it their own. And like, you know, you guys are not agreeing. There's some kind of conflict. It's not going smoothly. You need to notice those signs and just kind of smush it, right? I'm getting this sense of just like squash it while you can. Just deal with it. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be mad. And actually, I kind of see us dealing with it in a really playful way, because the Six of Wands comes up. And this is all about creative passion. And this is all about muscle memory, the things that we know we can do and we can handle with no sweat. The Six of Wands comes up because we're goal-oriented right now, and all of our energy is going towards the one thing that we really want. If we want money, we can attain it. And all of this effort is going to be going towards your career and your endeavors. If we want a better suited relationship, romantic relationship, that's where this energy is going to be going. That's where we're going to be planting our seeds. So as we move through this, as we get our surprises, as we move through our emotions, as we get a new opportunity, as we have this newfound confidence and stability, that doesn't mean that things are just going to be smooth sailing forever. Keep an eye out for something that might be a little wonky towards the end of the month. And you might have to deal with in just a little bit more of a playful manner, because you're keeping your ultimate goal in mind. You're not just dropping the ball for this person. You're not just dropping the ball for this obstacle. You're going to handle it because it's in a mechanical way, right? It's in a mechanical way where if you just inserted a little bit of knowledge into the problem, it can be fixed. If you just handle it in a lighthearted way, knowing that what you wanted to be accomplished is still obtainable, then just keep your cool. Keep your cool. Be mindful of it. Be resourceful. You know, all of those things. Do what is necessary in order to keep moving forward, because I do see the Six of Wands saying that there is so much momentum towards what you find in the month of April, that it is obtainable. The Magician is powerful when you get it. You get it right off the bat. So things might come to you very quickly in the first part of the month. And then it's going to take you for a little bit of a ride, right? We're going to have to move through some of the energies that come with being the Magician. And by the end of the month, I see us sitting in a pretty nice place. I mean, you become a master with the intellectual and heart wisdom. Four of Wands, you have a great support, a community around you. Things are more balanced, cooperative, fruitful. The Eight of Coins raises suspicion on who exactly you're letting in to help you, how they are going about things. You guys might not mesh very well. If that's the case, you have everything necessary to allow that to play out in a very playful, humble, understanding, and exciting manner. Be a little playful with it. The world is your oyster this month, and I'm so excited. I know I get a lot of inspiration when I do my Leo readings. I resonate so much with what's going on, and I definitely see a lot of this going on in my life. So I hope you guys resonate with some of it. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and watch also any other signs that you may have. Your sun, moon, or rising sign. Always helpful to give different perspectives. I will be posting towards the beginning of April as well. So if your other signs aren't up yet, they will be up by the time April actually comes around. I hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day, and I will be talking to you later. Bye-bye.